about as much as I put into costumes. Okay, let me put these down.
Okay, because you know, I do use those. They're really good oven mitts.
They are nice. They're grippy. But I would wear them as gloves. Anyway. Hi everybody, thanks for joining us on Facebook Live. Yay! It's Halloween-ish, and we're going to be talking today about apples and pumpkins because we are in apple and pumpkin season.
Absolutely.
And my name is Carrie Peoples. My company is called Neat Smart. I'm here to make your life easier by getting your home organized. And with me is the lovely and talented Nancy Waldeck with tasteandsavor.com, healthy chef, partyologist.
Yay!
Yay! It only took me 12 times to get it right. But anyway, so we are here today talking about apples and pumpkins for the season, and also going to talk about some good organizing tips to help you get ready for that long holiday season that we have that really starts yesterday. So we're going to start off with some sparkly yumminess.
Wine.
But I have a pumpkin confession to make.
Oh no!
Yes,
True confession.
This is true
on
confession.
Facebook Live.
Yes. How smart is that? So a few years ago, I was being smart, I thought, and I was making a yummy, delicious, and healthful pumpkin soup. And I said, well, I'm just going to use the leftover pumpkin that we had at our front yard. I know, bad.
Not so good.
It was the worst soup ever. And I tried to pass it off as being healthy because of it.
Because it tasted bad, you can pass it off as healthy.
No. I'm like, pumpkin, it's orange, it's full of beta carotene, it's good for you. And the kids and Craig were just like, not happy, and I didn't like it either. So I wanted everybody to learn from my terrible mistake that the pumpkins that you use for carving are not for eating.
They are different.
They are
eating
different.
pumpkins.
What you want are called pie pumpkins, or sometimes I think they're called a sugar pumpkin. But pie pumpkins, they're little. These aren't for carving. You can eat the seeds out of here. You can eat the seeds out of the carving pumpkins, but do not eat the carving pumpkins. Do not cook with the carving pumpkins.
Do not waste your time getting the seeds out of the carving pumpkins.
Yes.
Life is too short.
Yes, so that is my lesson. That was my confession, and we're going to move on and talk about apples. So,
yay!
Cheers!
Right after we cheers.
Yes, yum. What are we drinking?
Okay, so you know the whole story about Dom Perignon, I see stars.
Yes. Is it wrong?
Yeah,
Oh.
it's wrong. Yeah, it's not true. It's great marketing though.
Mythbusters right here.
Yeah, right. So this is actually the first sparkling wine in France.
Oh,
yes.
okay.
And it is called a Blanquette de Limoux. And Limoux is the place it's from.
Okay.
Benedictine monks, and I haven't even had any sparkling wine.
Yeah.
Say
Just
that
one sip.
Yeah.
Benedictine monks.
Created the sparkling wine, and it is still made today. And it is did you like it?
I do like this. It's very crisp.
Yes.
Like an apple.
Yes.
So is this champagne?
This is not.
Because
It is called a Blanquette de Limoux.
Okay.
And it's made in the same method as champagne, and it's just, it's not in champagne. So instead of $45, $55, $85 a bottle, okay, you gotta guess. How much did I pay for this at the grocery store?
15?
Go down.
Really? 10?
Yes. $12.99.
$12.99. Oh my gosh, this is so
Isn't
yummy.
it good?
It's not
It's
sweet.
dry.
Sorry, Chloe.
It's dry, it's crisp, it's
This is
clean,
really good.
and it's so much fun to share with friends. So this is a great wine to have on hand for your holiday celebration.
This is perfect. That's great for planning ahead. Go get a few bottles of this. So if I were going to shop ahead, and because I was going to be doing a lot of entertaining, would I store this in the refrigerator, or would I store it elsewhere until I'm going to be serving it?
Don't put it in the fridge yet.
Okay.
Because the fridge over time can dry out the cork. And believe it or not, for $12.99,
It's a real cork.
it's a real cork. Or it's a composite cork, but it's close enough, right? So set it aside, and right like 2 or 3 days before, this is a sparkling wine needs to be served really cold, Carrie. I mean, like really cold. So your fridge is 44 around degrees, 40 to 44. That's how cold this sparkling wine needs to be. Okay, so super cold, super crisp, super delicious.
Great suggestion.
Super inexpensive for the holidays.
Yay! And it's good. You're buying quality. You're buying something that's delicious, but you're also shopping ahead of time, which I think is very smart because we've got 3 months, well, not even 3 months,
No.
less than 3 months of activities coming up, and lots of opportunities to hang out with friends or see family. So it's good to have that stashed in your pantry until you're ready to have people over.
$12.99 a bottle.
And that makes a great gift too.
It does,
You can gift that to
absolutely.
people.
Plus, what I love about it is it's got history to it, right?
Yes.
And so you can tell people that history, because anything that comes with a little provenance.
Everyone loves a story.
Yes.
Stories sell.
Yes.
That's wonderful. I love this. So what are we going to eat with this?
Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, you know what? We're going to have another wine with this.
Well, I can talk about organizing.
Talk about organizing. I'll get our other wine, and then I'm going to teach you how to make these lovely, look at those. This is so much fun. Smoked trout on a Granny Smith apple.
Yum.
Yeah.
That looks delicious.
So you talk organizing, I'll grab the other bottle.
So it's October 19th, which means that Halloween's around the corner. We've basically started holiday season.
Yes.
So there's a lot of different activities coming up, and I think it's so important to go ahead and start planning now for what you can, so that you're not, running around crazy with your hair on fire when it gets down to Christmas and New Year's.
Perhaps you've seen me.
I've seen myself, unfortunately. So my suggestion for now is to go ahead and start thinking about the holidays that are coming up. Obviously, we have Halloween. So do you have Halloween candy? Are you entertaining? Do you have a costume? Are you going to be dressing up as something? Go ahead and start getting those things taken care of now. Go ahead and buy the candy now. Just don't open it if you're going to have trick-or-treaters. Or if you're going to a party, excuse me, you need a costume, go ahead and get that knocked out.
If you buy toothbrushes, nobody will want to open them up.
That's true. Which we did at my house, because my father was a dentist. So.
Oh, okay.
Well, it's a long story, but anyway, that'll be for later. But yes, or give them pencils, or maybe you could pass out corks to them.
I just learned about it. Do you know about the teal pumpkin thing?
That's for children with peanut allergies, I think.
Is that
right?
When I heard about it the other day, it was for giving healthy snacks.
Oh.
Or those snacks that for food allergies. So
what do you give out?
I thought it was amazing. I didn't know.
Did you do the boxes of raisins?
It's so sad we have no trick-or-treaters here.
We get a ton at our house. But we just go out to the cul-de-sac and all group together. It's like just take the candy.
You can take a bottle of Saint Hilaire.
That'll make me very popular with my friends in the cul-de-sac.
I was thinking about I'm not going to say that, giving it to the kids.
Not good.
Not good.
Okay, bad reputation.
Yeah.
So plan ahead. So we've got Halloween coming up. Thanksgiving's coming up right after that. So are you going to be in town? Are you traveling? Do you have friends coming over? Are you going to be entertaining? And start to think about and plan ahead. Do you have projects that you need to get done in the house before you have company or before you're traveling? So Christmas, go ahead and start thinking about what. Well, we'll talk about Christmas later, but anyway, but go ahead and start thinking about what's going to be going on with Halloween, what's going to be going on with Thanksgiving, and you can start planning ahead on that. So anyway, we'll go ahead and start
planning ahead.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go ahead and make our apple slices with our smoked trout on it first, and then I will pour a little more wine.
Yay!
So here is our beautiful mise en place.
Mise en place.
Which means that everything in its place. So this is a great way of ensuring that you don't put the cake in the oven without putting the eggs in. How many times does that happen? It happens to everyone. I promise, even chefs. So
I have bad baking stories too. So.
Yeah. Oh, good. We'll have to explore them.
There's some bad ones.
Okay. So these are Granny Smith apples, and what we've done is we have taken the Granny Smith apple and sliced it. Put it in acidulated water, which is a big word that just means we squoze a lemon into the water. Acidulated, yes.
Oh.
Acid. Okay, so here we go. And so before we make our appetizer, we want to dry off those apple slices. I'm going to let you do it, Carrie. So I'll move it to the back. I'll move both of these. You can just make one. How's that?
I'll try.
You'll do great. So into our big bowl, we are going to put Dijon mustard, a little Dijon, and you want to get coarse ground mustard.
Coarse ground.
And then now, when I had this recipe the first time in a restaurant, they used lots of homemade mayonnaise, and it was wonderful. But so what we can do with any kind of dip that you're making at home for the holidays is you can take half of the mayonnaise. So this is an olive oil mayo.
Okay.
And you can substitute the other half with non-fat Greek yogurt.
Oh,
plain
that's
non-fat
great.
Greek yogurt.
And I love the tanginess you get with that.
So in there,
Yum.
I have a little salt and pepper. So about a 1/4 teaspoon pepper, maybe 1/2 teaspoon salt. The recipe for this is going to be on Taste and Savor blog.
Yes, and I will be sending out the recipe and all the recipes, the wines, the sparkling wines, and the organizing tips in my newsletter that'll go out hopefully tonight.
Yay! Okay, all right, so smell, Carrie.
Oh my gosh, that smells amazing.
That yummy?
Oh.
Okay, so this is about a 1/4 cup of chopped dill, just chopped fresh dill. And then what we're going to do is, I bought some smoked trout. Now, in the olden days, it used to be hard to find smoked trout in the grocery store or smoked fish in the white fish in the grocery store. Bought this at the Kroger.
Oh, that's nice.
$4.99, 2 lovely pieces. So all I did was take the, and this is rainbow trout, so pretty.
Okay.
All I did was take the smoked trout and flake it up a little bit. You're going to put a good plop of the, oh, well, let's put a few in here, and then we'll garnish with a little bit more. So I'm going to use my perfectly clean fingers.
Of course, we are sanitary here.
Yes. And now you're going to put, I know, doesn't it smell good?
So don't worry about the hole in the middle.
No, it actually stays together pretty well. Okay, so just put it down right there. And then I'll garnish it with a little bit of trout, and then you can garnish it with some more dill if you'd like to.
Oh,
so
great.
you have to try it.
Try to try
Yes.
it. Yay! You make it, you eat it.
That's right.
Even if it's bad pumpkin soup.
It's going to be messy.
Mmm.
Isn't that good? Now, of course, you can put this on crackers, but how much fun is it? Okay, low carb, gluten-free, better for you because you've got the apples, and it's gorgeous too. I mean, isn't that pretty?
It makes a great presentation. Plus, you get that nice tart with the salty.
Yeah.
It's a great combo.
Yeah. Okay, so I have the perfect wine
Yeah,
to
literally.
go with it.
Of course.
It's a Muscadet,
Oh.
and it's from the Loire Valley. And Muscadet is actually the name of the city in the Loire, and it's at the very end of the Loire Valley. Oh, listen, my cat thinks the smoked trout smells good too.
Kitty would like some too.
So you and I are big Francophiles, so we know about the Loire Valley.
Yes.
It's the longest continuous wine spot in France. So
Also known as wine heaven.
yes. So in the Loire, a shellfish is typically served with this wine, the Muscadet. And Muscadet is the place. And funny enough, the grape name is Melon de Bourgogne,
Oh,
which
okay.
translates to melon of Burgundy,
Oh,
even though
okay.
it's from Muscadet.
Okay.
So it says French. They're just trying to confuse us,
Yeah,
right?
I don't want us over there.
Yeah, yeah. So here we go. So this is going to, following the same pattern as that Saint Hilaire, this is going to be clean and crisp and beautiful. I got this one at Total Wine.
Ooh.
Again, less than $20.
Oh, wow.
So about $17.
Mm.
And if we, isn't that just wonderful?
Kind of a buttery smell. Very nice.
Good acidity.
That is nice.
Nice mouth filling. Yeah, and so
I mean, okay, now I've had a little sip.
you need to take
I
a
think I
sip.
put
Now
too much
taste.
stuff on here.
That's all right. I'm gonna taste one too with it.
Great combination. I'm gonna grab a towel.
So
Yum.
this is absolutely, if you're doing boiled or steamed or roasted shrimp, fish, if you're splashing out and doing lobster, you can tell everybody that this is what you would be drinking in France.
This is perfect.
For your shellfish or your fish.
Very nice. What a great combination. I love the tart and this, not sparkling, but just a very bright. Bright taste.
Exactly.
Awesome. Okay, so actually, this kind of is a good segue. This would be a great Thanksgiving appetizer because it would be not too heavy. Just get a nice amuse-bouche there.
Yes.
So I want to talk a little bit about Thanksgiving because it's not that far away. And we'll be talking about it more in a future Facebook Live. But go ahead, again, planning ahead. What are you going to be doing Thanksgiving? Are you traveling? Are you going to have company over? Do you have projects, like I mentioned, that you need to have done? The holidays or any type of event are a great way to get people incented to get those projects done, get the house clean, get that organizing done. So go ahead and plan ahead for that now. I just think it's interesting how we all need that accountability.
That little push to get it done.
But it gets a lot of people motivated, and a lot of people need that extra accountability, so that's a good thing. But I'm going to go ahead and talk about, if you have events that you have going on, guess what? I know I'm way old school. Yes.
I'm just so impressed that you have hung on to it. I got shamed into using my iPhone.
I haven't been shamed yet, and I do use my phone, but I just love the visual aspect of seeing my time blocked out. So if you have, we've already gotten invited to a Christmas party, so I
crazy.
Went ahead and put it on my calendar. So if you know vacations that you have coming up, trips that you're going to be taking, parties that are going to be taking place, go ahead and put it on your calendar, because you think, oh, I'll remember, it's coming up soon. I'm excited about that party. I'll remember it. You won't. Put it on your calendar. Even if it's on your iPhone, that's fine too, but write it down. Put it down, mark it so that you aren't letting something else take up that time on your calendar. That's probably the number one rule of time management, is go ahead and block the time so you don't forget and let something else supersede it. So, or
forget and put something else 2 hours beforehand so that you're running screaming with
yes.
your hair on fire.
Sure, I can make it that at 5 o'clock on a Friday. No problem. Got it. So whether you use a paper calendar or just an electronic one, put stuff down on it.
Okay.
And don't forget.
And don't schedule 2 hours between things in the city of Atlanta.
In the city of Atlanta, or anywhere, really.
Yeah.
I mean, today's Thursday. It was ridiculous getting around town. And just don't overstress yourself. That's the main thing. Is look at what you have planned, so that you don't do that, and then you're not just. We really want to enjoy ourselves, not just at this time of the year, any time of the year.
If it's not fun, why are we doing it?
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
I need to put that. I need to put your voice
saying. What would Carrie do?
Yes. What would Carrie do? Okay, so Carrie,
this looks so good.
I can't wait to share this with you. So this is a really easy apple cake, and you may have an apple cake that you've grown up with, but this one's just a little bit better for you.
Okay, great.
And so I have some of the ingredients out. So we used whole wheat pastry flour.
Okay.
Okay, so I want you to look at, it says whole wheat pastry flour. Okay.
Yes.
So pastry is the word you're looking for.
Okay.
And the reason we're using whole wheat pastry flour is whole wheat's better for us, but the pastry flour is ground so finely that you can use it 1-for-1 in all your baked goods. So you get a little more benny than you do from just using all-purpose flour.
Okay.
And you know, that whole wheat flour, if you try to do it 1-for-1, you have a brick.
Yeah, try that.
Okay, and then I've got some grapeseed oil here.
So what's special about this?
Grapeseed oil is very neutral in flavor. I can find it almost anywhere now. I mean, this is from the Kroger. So grapeseed, avocado oil are my two favorite kinds of oils, neutral oils. That grapeseed is super, this is what all the chefs used. It used to be super expensive. Now, not as expensive.
Okay, that's good to know.
Easy to find.
Okay,
so
great.
Grapeseed oil. And then one more thing I want to talk about, and that is, sorry, I'm leaning right in front of you, and that is raw sugar. All right, let's not fool ourselves.
Does sugar get a raw deal?
You were just waiting, weren't you?
On that one.
Let's not fool ourselves. It's still sugar, Carrie, but it's a little better for us. The darker the color, the less it's been processed.
Oh, okay, that's good to know.
Yeah, and so you can buy turbinado, di Madeira, raw sugar. It's not that much more expensive, and I really do like to use it instead of white sugar. It's, you know, it's like that 1% better every day. We don't have to change. We don't have to become vegan, but we do want to eat a little bit better.
So let me ask you, so this is not to be confused with brown sugar, even though it's brownish in color, because brown sugar has molasses, is that right?
Brown sugar has the molasses in it, and it is much moister and darker.
Yeah, this seems like a regular.
Yeah.
sugar.
Yep.
A little bit coarser.
Okay, so now you want to pass over the plate so we can try it.
Ooh, this looks yummy.
Yes. And we can just...
Should we just reach across?
Yes, of course.
Okay.
Actually, I do even have right here. Look at this. So Christina made that look so pretty, didn't she?
She did, and I'm sorry to unpretty it. I guess
Here we go.
We have a topping for
Yep.
it.
So we're using, okay, so we're going to use non-fat Greek yogurt to top this. But then we have a surprise.
Ooh.
So just a little plop, okay? And then to make this taste even better, I can't stand it. I'm putting it in the middle of the plate. Okay, so look at this.
Ooh,
So
gorgeous.
what I have here is some sage honey. So apples and sage smell.
Oh my goodness, that's heavenly.
Apples and sage are a great pairing. And so all we did was take honey, chop a little sage, heat the honey and the sage together, turn it off, and just let it hang out for a
So it
little
just
bit.
the flavor smell. Oh wow.
So
Yum.
I'm just going to put a little bit on the plate.
Such nice food styling.
Yes. Here we go. And so back and forth on the plate. So now that we have the creaminess of the non-fat Greek yogurt, but then we also have the sweetness and the herbal flavor from the sage honey. And you know, I do this with all kinds of herbs.
Oh wow.
Rosemary
Okay.
honey, basil honey. It's just so fun. So you do want to keep it in the fridge once
Okay.
you've done this.
Okay.
But it'll last in your fridge for a couple weeks.
Oh, that's great.
Yes.
That's again perfect for holidays.
Okay, and so while you take a bite of that,
Okay.
I'm going behind you and I'm going to grab my tray.
Oh, this looks so good.
And
Mmm. Yum city.
isn't that good?
Mm.
So this recipe makes 2 loaves.
Okay.
So you can,
That's great.
yeah. So you can, if you don't need the second loaf, you can put it in your freezer. It freezes great. Or you can even use this for breakfast, right?
I would totally eat this for
Yeah,
breakfast.
toast it for breakfast.
Yum. Now you've used Granny Smith apples on both of these.
I did.
And I love the super tart apples. I know some people who shall remain nameless that don't care for them, crack peoples. And
Just gonna say that.
he says they're too tart. I love the tart, but why did you use the Granny Smith on both of these?
Well, because the Granny Smith on the smoked trout is such a great contrast for both of them because the apple cake is sweet.
It is sweet.
So you want a contrast works really well. If you weren't using the Granny Smith though, I would use something like a hard.
Well, I'll be using Granny Smith.
Sorry, Greg. I would use a hard northeastern apple, like a Macintosh or a Jonathan, something that has some
heft to it.
yes to it. Yeah.
No, I just had to pick on you with that and kind of poke him a little bit.
Oh, good.
Good.
Okay, so now I have a suggestion
Yes.
for a dessert wine with the apple cake or anything like this. Apple crisp, pear crisp, pumpkin crisp, anything this time of year. And that is, we're going to put a little bit of sparkling wine in our glass. And then you never want your dessert wine to be drier than your dessert.
Okay.
Because food changes wine, and your sweet dessert will kill your wine. And
Yes.
what a sad thing that is,
Yeah, we
right?
need to respect the dessert.
And the wine
And the
too. Okay, so look at what I have.
Ooh, apple cider.
So this is a really fun thing to have as just a little dessert happiness. A sparkling wine with some apple cider in it. You can squeeze your orange in there if you'd like to. And it's sweet, but it's not cloyingly sweet. And it tastes very natural and will be a perfect accompaniment.
Oops.
My orange moved.
This is live TV, people. Or Facebook Live. Whatever.
Okay.
This is great.
Isn't that good?
Ooh, I love the orange with
Yeah,
it.
yeah. So
Orange apple.
yeah, and so you can use your apple cider with sparkling wine, as well as so if you buy your St. Hilaire, you can drink it all through dinner.
Multi-purpose.
Yes.
No, that's great. It's nice to have options for your wines and for your foods. I think a lot of people get hung up on, oh, I only eat champagne or only drink champagne with this food, or only eat this food and this, these things together, and you can really mix that up. Which is nice.
Really can. You really can. But it's sparkling wine. It's not champagne.
Oh my gosh. worst co-host ever. I'm sorry. Sparkling wine.
Yeah. No, but isn't that fun? With
That is
the
nice.
orange, the apple cider. I mean, you could get really fun with it. You could put a cinnamon stick in it.
Add some other spices to go with
Yeah,
that.
absolutely.
Which makes you think of Christmas.
Yes.
This would be a great Christmas Eve cocktail to have.
It
I
would
think.
be,
If you
wouldn't
did
it?
orange, but you can
Yeah.
throw in a little cranberry.
Wouldn't that be pretty?
be
Oh
nice.
my gosh.
Food for thought.
Yeah.
So for Christmas, and really for any time, but I want to talk about it for Christmas.
Okay.
Getting ready now. Go ahead. I mentioned the parties and going ahead and putting stuff on your calendar. But again, retro Carrie here is like, go ahead and start making your list, Santa. Again, if you want to start with your gift list, or you have ideas of things that you want to do for Christmas, write things down. A piece of paper and a pen or a pencil are the best methods for remembering things, as well as getting them out of your head so you don't have to think about them.
So they're not taking up space.
They're not
That's
taking
something you need.
Exactly. And so if you're sitting there going, I've got to remember to buy apples on the way home, you're focusing all your energy on remembering that, as opposed to other activities or other problems.
Watching the traffic.
Things that are more important. So write things down. I have a little notebook. This is my actual notebook that I use all the time. But it just helps me. It helps everybody. But writing things down is actually, you're utilizing the visual part of your brain, the mental part of your brain, trying to remember it, as well as your mind takes a picture of what you're writing down, so you have kind of an image of it, and then you've got the whole muscle memory of actually writing things down. So I've talked about this ad nauseum, I'm sure, on other Facebook Lives, but the act of actually writing things down is really helpful for you, and it helps to process the problem or the issue, or even just making the list. It gets the time that you're taking to write something down is helping you to solve that problem, or helping you to get it out of your head. So go ahead and start making those lists, gift lists. If you have teachers, co-workers, neighbors, friends, go ahead and start writing down the things that you want, gifts that you want to give, or maybe you're going to have a party and you want to invite people, but use your pad and paper to start to document that so you don't have to think about it.
I do have a question, Carrie. So do you carry that with you everywhere?
Just about. So I have, like, if I'm going to an event, I have a smaller notebook that I'll use, and I say an event, like a networking event or something like that. I have a smaller one that I keep in my purse. That stays with my work stuff. That's more work oriented. So I don't transfer notes back and forth, but I just have the two notebooks that I use.
Okay, so I do have a question, because I am always carrying, the tote bag that Godzilla could fit
Yes, the ginormous.
in. So if you are, do you carry that into the store with you in your tote bag and stuff?
Yes, or I might write a list down. That's like my Christmas list, and I put it on a special piece of paper that I know I can rip out and take with me. It kind of depends on what we're talking about here, but if it's, again, a list of things that I need to do, and I'm going to go run a bunch of errands, I probably would just pull that piece of paper out and then take that with me. But otherwise, that's I'm working with clients, and I use that notebook to write down things. Like if I need to go get certain supplies for them, I write that down. And I write down measurements and things like that.
Interesting.
I try to keep everything as much as I can in one notebook. But yeah, I've been known to jot things down on a sticky note, but then I'll go stick it back in the notebook or on my calendar. It depends on what it applies to. But I know you don't want to schlep around one more thing, but it's just a simple tool that you can use that really makes it. It's like you don't have to do any computation. There's no app. You just write it down.
Yeah.
And I know you use the pad, and I sometimes you write on the pad.
I write on my iPad.
Which is great. I mean, that's a great, if that works for you, do it. If you're not doing anything, start off with paper and pen.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's my suggestion, just start to write things down. And again, that applies to any time of year. Just right now, we start thinking about making lists, and that helps us.
Yay.
So. Well, cool. So we are doing this again on November 6th.
I'm so glad you remembered that, because we tried so hard to put a date together before this started so we could say when.
Yes, and then we were starting to forget it. So November 6th, 3:30.
Yeah, and we're going to be at the Chapman Cancer Wellness Center.
Yes, we were there before, and this will be a fun time to be there. We're going to be talking about Thanksgiving recipes, I believe. So
Yes, recipes, organizing.
Oh, yes. So speaking of which,
yes,
we'll talk about ourselves. Again, if you guys like this video, I hope you did. If you watched to this point, please share it with your friends. And you can follow me at neatsmart.com. You can find me on Facebook and Instagram. I know this is kind of a low-tech way to advertise. But we would love to have you. I would love to have you guys following me on NeatSmart. Facebook/NeatSmart. You can also find me on Instagram at NeatSmart, and I will be sending out a recap of all of this. If you want to put your email address in the comments section, we'll be happy to follow up with you.
Yay! And tasteandsavor.com. That's my website, and I always put the recipes and Carrie's organizing tips on the Taste and Savor blog. But I'd also love you to join me on Fridays when I send out the Friday 4.
Love the Friday 4.
Thank you. It is one healthy recipe, one kitchen tip, one something to get creative, and a wine pairing under $20. So
that's perfect.
That's to your inbox.
Yeah, it's so nice that you have a new recipe that you can try out, because so many people are like, I don't know what to make today, or I want to try something new, and it's nice to have everything all wrapped up together.
Exactly.
Well, thanks for watching.
Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween. See you in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.